The EPP Group in the European Parliament, the largest political force in the Union, has always been involved in all fields of political and social life. One of these is the Workers Group, which was established some 30 years ago. It constitutes a forum in which MEPs meet regularly with representatives of worker associations. One of the longest-serving MEPs in the Workers Group is Elmar Brok from Germany, who has joined me to talk about it. Mr. Brok, why the Workers Group was established?
The European People's Party is a party which represents all parts of society, from business people to small and medium-sized people, and also workers. And we cannot win elections without workers as part of it. And therefore, we have to see that the European People's Party consists out of three groups: the Conservatives, the Liberals, and Christian social movements. And therefore, the Workers Group makes it clear that we have such a balanced position to represent as a real people's party the whole parts of society.
After 30 years, how you can evaluate the contribution of the Workers Group in the debate, in the European debate?
I think we have influenced a lot, many times, the position of the EPP Group to find a more moderate position that is not just a policy which is favorable for business, but is a compromise.
This year's General Assembly of the Workers Group was organized here in the Polish city of Wrocław, the capital of Lower Silesia. This region is directly linked to early workers' movements. At the beginning of the 19th century, during the early days of the Industrial Revolution, the introduction of machines has created massive unemployment, which drastically has changed the face of the society. At the invitation of the Polish MEP, Jacek Protasiewicz, the Workers Group met here. Mr. Protasiewicz, thank you for joining us. Why the meeting is taking place here in Wrocław? What is the symbolism of this choice?
That was the city which went through two phases of the industrialism. The first phase was in the 19th century, but it lasted till very late 20th century. The heavy industry was present here in that city and in that region, even in the 80s years of the 20th century. So afterwards, after the economic changes and also democracy was introduced to Poland, the city and the region faced a lot of social problems related to high unemployment, to changes in the economy, and the city was one of the first in Poland and perhaps also in Eastern Europe where on a local level the social changes were introduced successfully. Now you can see that people have jobs here, have a quite good life, both in the capital of the region but also across the region.
The central theme of this year's General Assembly was the promotion and preservation of employment, given the impact of the financial crisis. MEPs joined the Polish Minister of Social Affairs, Jolanta Fedak, experts from international institutions such as the European Central Bank, the OECD and academics to debate the consequences of the crisis and future prospects for the worker. Chabauri, outgoing president of the EPP Workers Group, spoke to us about the context in which the meeting took place.
We all agree that the main priority of the European Union is the creation of new jobs. In the future, we will need to work more, and we will need more work as well as a better quality of work. Secondly, we need to change the education systems, so all levels of education must be reformed to prepare us for lifelong learning. Thirdly, we need to re-examine the financial and fiscal conditions of our employment systems. We especially need to take the sting out of the recession for small and medium-sized enterprises. It is evident that 80–90% of new jobs will be created in the SME sector. In addition, we need to concentrate our production activities.
Jacek Protasiewicz and Maciej Duszczyk, social affairs advisor to the Polish Prime Minister, analysed the situation in Poland and the region of Silesia, where prospects are less gloomy than elsewhere in the European Union.
The crisis wasn't present very much here, in that part of Poland, as well as in Poland. As you know, Poland was one of those European countries which suffered the least of the economic crisis. That is to a big extent, that is thanks to the European Union membership and structural funds which are available.
We are in very good track to avoid next challenges which are concerned in the economic crisis. But I think it depends on two things. First of all is the labor market reforms, and second, this is the public spending.